Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hashtag Hypetrain podcast. I'm Mike.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Corey. And starting next fall, I will be teaching film studies and the history of junk food, 2 separate courses at Harvard. So make sure you go online and apply immediately before those classes fill up, people. Come on.
Where? Did you say Harvard?
Yeah.
He just went for it. He's like,
Oh, okay.
if I'm going to teach, I'm going to teach at Ivy League, you know.
Wait, does Professor have 1 F or 2? Oh my god. Oh my god. Professor. They're all staring at me. Professor. I don't know. Just do something.
If you haven't heard us before, we review the latest and greatest in upcoming movie, TV show, and video game trailers. But if anyone who has listened to us before knows, the Hype Train also has the capability to travel back in time.
Whoa!
We are headed to 2000 to visit some movies here that we're going to take a look at some interesting trailers here.
The WB will air a hip-hop version of The Bachelorette. It will be called The Biatchelorette.
We'll see if any of these movies had stood the test of time, or maybe were some hidden gems or buried beneath a lot of these stars' careers to never be seen by anyone ever again. So, without further ado, let's get into the first flashback trailer here. And Corey, this is yours, so why don't you take it away?
Why don't I? Guys, Shane West and James Franco are going to take you through a tale as old as time. And here's the trailer for Whatever It Takes.
I bought some new underwear today. I thought, maybe I could model them for you.
Ryan, wake up! Let me guess. Another Ashley Grant dream?
Tell me all about it. Was I in this one?
He wants a dream. Maggie, Ashley Grant is perfection.
So she has a nice body.
Oh, Maggie likes Ashley Grant's body.
He's got a challenge.
Gotta pay the toll.
You want me to kick you in the face?
Would you be naked?
They have a plan.
Ashley's looking for something special, and I can get you there. You can be that guy for her. You just have to help me be that guy for Maggie. Yo.
Sweet! We got ourselves an occasion.
Every guy in school wants to say something nice to Ashley Grant. You gotta stand out. Be different. Now you're in the game.
Now,
There is nothing special about this person.
Well, that's what he said about you.
He did not.
to get the girl of his dreams,
What's my next move with Ashley? Nothing. If she talks to you, be me.
Ryan will be cool.
Do you want to kiss me?
If I have to.
He'll play the game.
She volunteers at a nursing home.
Chris, what are you doing here?
I like to come here from time to time to visit with the sickly and old.
Oops.
I'm gonna take a quick shower.
And do everything
You're validating our entire species here.
What are you doing, man? Those chicks were digging us.
but be himself.
Recognize and analyze. Loser.
You kicking with these geeks? Why do you gotta call them geeks, man?
Just be glad that you're a winner. Like me.
Comes a story about doing whatever it takes
I should be mad at you for making me fall for Chris.
to get your dream girl,
Take me to the prom.
and doing even more
Wow, she's really beautiful. You're really beautiful.
to win the right girl.
You never cared about Maggie. Doesn't really matter, does it? Are you sure about him?
Look, he said that I was beautiful.
I said that. Me.
Whatever it takes.
What happened between you and Ashley? Was it the hair on her back? Because she is getting that removed.
Okay, so welcome back, guys. So that was the trailer for Whatever It Takes. I picked this trailer. The only thing I have to say before I kick it to Sanford, he's actually seen the film, is this came out in March of 2000, and that's why I picked it. All right, Sanford, take it away.
That's all you have to say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your
I mean,
whole
we'll cycle
setup.
back to
That's
me.
your whole portion of this was.
We'll cycle
I picked the
Back
trailer.
to me.
There
I
you
got
go.
stuff to say.
Why should I talk first when I've seen the movie when you guys just saw the trailer, which is the point of our show?
All right. So this is it's a very 2000s movie when you look at it. I mean, there were so many there were so many of this movie already. Even the chick that plays or the mean hot chick, that's why I said chick, was Jodie Lynn O'Keefe. She was the mean hot chick in She's All That, which came out a year before.
To everyone here who matters, you're vapor.
If anyone knows that movie,
Rachel Lee Cook.
Yes, yeah. Which one's all right. It's weird because in this era, there were so many teen comedies that came out. And like when I'm researching this movie, I just kind of went into a rabbit hole of like, oh, I remember this teen comedy and I remember this one. This one, though, Whatever It Takes, was kind of the one that I like, not that interested in. Like my favorites are Can't Hardly Wait, if you've ever seen that.
Hey, yo, Kareem, baby, what's up?
I did like She's All That, and then there's a movie called Get Over It with Cisco in it.
Oh, hell done break loose.
And get his girl back.
We sing first, and then we read later. Call Domino's. We'll be here a while.
Get over it.
And this, there was because She's All That had Usher in it, and then Get Over It had Cisco in it, and this just feels like that time period. Like every teen movie was this, like this teeny bopper romance thing. Another thing about this movie, though, in the trailer, this is the feature film debut of Aaron Paul, who portrays the character Floyd.
Fresh off those Corn Pops commercials.
Son, I think we need to talk. Uh-huh. Oh, no.
You remember that?
The trailer it's the movie. It was like, here's the setup of what's happening. And then it turns out that, Shane West really likes the nerdy girl who is pretty but nerdy or whatever. I don't know. It's pretty predictable.
I don't know.
Tomato meter, I checked on the Rotten Tomatoes for all these trailers that we're doing. And
oh, boy.
This one,
Is that what we're doing now?
Well,
no, so did I,
figured,
and that was a treat.
Tomato meter on this one is 16% from the critics score. Audience score, though, gave it a 45, a little generous there. So I think it shows that movies of this era do, like, depending on what you've seen and your own situations growing up in that time, you have your own favorites in this movie genre that is quite terrible. So
it was incredible. This was an incredibly timely movie. Like you said, there's a trillion of these coming out in the year that we're stuck in, the year 2000.
The year 2000.
And this is an interesting trailer. It's kind of obviously it's for an older movie. This is an older style of trailer because, as you said, Fernandez, it shows us the whole movie, but it's weird because I can remember this movie pretty well. It focuses a lot on our main character, doing, quote, whatever it takes. That's the name of the movie, to be with the popular girl. That's like 80% of this trailer. That's about 50% of the movie. Mm-hmm. And then the second half of the movie is him realizing that he's an idiot and he should be with his good friend, his neighbor, who's, not popular, but is nice and treats human beings like human beings. And why was he so blind? And they actually don't go into that too much in this trailer. This trailer lasts 9 years, but it doesn't tell you. It doesn't really focus on that. The only other things that I can recall that are in this movie that aren't in the trailer is they keep calling him Brian Ryan throughout the movie. The character's name is Ryan, but the popular kids think his name is Brian. So he literally goes by Brian Ryan to them. And I'm surprised that they had the restraint to keep that joke out of the trailer because they returned to it multiple times. Like there's this goofy thing where this where he does the like I have a soul, like I don't know why I'm wasting time with you, with the popular girl, and she's never been dumped before, so she goes, I love you, Brian Ryan. And, it's just weird. And yeah, James Franco is here.
Doing James Franco things.
But the thing is, he's not really doing James Franco things. Like, young James Franco was really restrained, I think, because he was afraid of getting fired. So he's doing the like, aren't I so charming James Franco thing, but he's not doing what I would consider stereotypical James Franco things.
It's weird because when I looked on the IMDb and they always list the cast as like, you know, the top build, James Franco, as big of a star as he is now, isn't even on like the front page. I think you have to scroll down quite a bit through the cast before you actually get to James Franco.
Which is very silly considering he's on the poster and 90% of
the
trailer.
Right? He's a main character. I think Aaron Paul is listed before him, and Aaron Paul, like, isn't he just a friend of the main character?
Friend.
Yeah. So. Aaron Paul, he leveraged his career, his early career, playing like a person who's obviously on something as a teenager to a very successful career as a person who cooks and distributes drugs in one of the highest rated television shows of all time.
Yes, science!
So good on Aaron Paul.
Never heard of it.
Never.
So let's call that a wrap on whatever it takes.
Let's just keep it rolling, I guess.
Let's keep it rolling. Let's go on to our next 2000 flashback trailer here. Matt, you're up.
All right, everyone. Do you like spy crime thrillers but are neurotic and cannot relate to the main character? Then this film is a film for you. This movie is called Gun Shy, starring Liam Neeson and Sandra Bullock. So strap yourselves in. Maybe take some notes to talk to your therapist about this later, but here's Gun Shy.
Look, I've never done this before, and I just want you to know I'm not into searching for man or child or finding out about my disappointment in my mother. Mommy?
Go ahead and wipe your eyes.
Undercover police officer Charlie Mayo is about to take on the last assignment of his career.
Tonight, you're busting a mafia assassin.
The guy's the Jeffrey Dahmer of hitmen.
I'm sick of being a cliche. I need some cash so I can get out of this skinny gangster movie lifestyle.
And he's looking to relieve a little stress.
I'm going to give you a stronger prescription. Only take one of these an hour before the meeting. You don't want to pass out.
Let's get this party rolling. Bring you some Christoph.
I'm very good at reading what's in a person's eyes.
What do they say?
They say you're sleepy. Maybe you got that weird sleeping disease. Narco sleepy.
But all he really needs is a little human contact.
Take it easy. So where you from? Ireland. Top of the morning to you.
Touchstone Pictures presents.
Put your hand on the table. I won't say it again.
Just paper. Let the neighbor go.
Sports page here.
All I really want to talk about is this amazing woman I met.
What do you say, handsome?
I think somebody up there likes me. She's great. She took me out on a date last night. I don't know, for the first time in months. I had fun.
Liam Neeson.
Hello. Hello.
Oliver Platt.
I want you to get control of that anger.
Let it go!
And Sandra Bullock.
You think I'm just a nut?
Yep.
Ah, but am I an attractive nut?
Extremely. Who is she? Where'd you meet her? Does she know what you do? No. But I'm thinking of telling her.
Gun Shy.
No!
Oh, yeah.
All right, everybody. So that was Gun Shy. Let me tell you all a story. Okay.
Ooh, story time.
Yeah. So story time. This is a story about. So so Matthew Prime here is on the hype train, gone back to the year 2000. But Matthew Omega, the child version of him in the year 2000, will in a few months get the opportunity to see this movie over at his friend's house. But unprompted, his friend's mom's gonna walk in. Oh, hey, I thought you boys might like this movie, playing Pokemon Yellow and Blue or whatever on the Game Boy. I thought you guys might like this. Saw this at Blockbuster. So put the VHS in the VCR. And then at a certain point, Oliver Platt shoots a gay drug cartel's testicle out of his scrotum. And it rolls down the bloody urinal. Does that seem like something that would happen in the film you just saw the trailer for? But it does. It happens in this movie, and I'll never forget it. As long as I live. This trailer makes this movie seem like a romantic comedy, and it's kind of a romantic comedy because it's a dark comedy in which Liam Neeson falls in love with Sandra Bullock. But it's way, way, way darker and more violent than this trailer lets on. Hence, the Oliver Platt shooting somebody in the scrotum.
Right in the screens.
So yeah.
Yeah, I was not expecting any of that at all. Well,
right.
I mean, because we like the audience doesn't know this, but we talk amongst ourselves while the trailer is playing for everyone, and like that came out of left field for me because we're just talking about it, and I think I'm glad that Matt, you didn't tell us anything about it until now because I'm shocked. I just
hashtag save it for the pod.
Yeah. Hashtag saving it.
Yeah, because in my research for this film, it didn't get received very well, but there was nothing about it being that dark of a comedy. It does say it's a dark comedy, though.
Yeah, so I never really thought of this movie as a comedy, but it is a comedy. But that's because I saw it when I was 12 years old, and so when mobsters are yelling at each other and it looks like Liam Neeson might die and people are getting shot and they're privates, it all seemed kind of white knuckle to me, but yeah, so it didn't really seem very funny to me, but they chose to market this as a romantic comedy. It's not that. It's a dark comedy. Don't find a copy of Gunshy and think like, oh, I'm gonna have a nice, like, I got a Sandra Bullock movie. I'm gonna score points with my lady friend, and we'll watch the movie. I wouldn't recommend you do that. I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts. I'm gonna popcorn to Corey first. If you have anything else to say, or if you're just too stunned by the testicle reveal.
First of all, love me some Oliver Platt. So the fact that he was just blasting people in their nutsacks in a bathroom is just wondrous to me. Second, what does it say about me that I can believe Liam Neeson, even though we've said numerous times now this is not a romantic comedy, I was more able to believe that Liam Neeson was the role in a romantic comedy than Sandra Bullock was, because I just find her so annoying and I know I'm the inverse, because I feel like the maximum is like, oh, Sandra Bullock, oh, she's so great. But every time
she's been in so many romantic comedies.
Right.
That's the
thing.
I'm
like, how is she not
and every time I'm like
romantic comedy?
Every time I'm just like, you're just not I just don't like you. And my wife agreed. I don't know. The fact that I don't do research is obviously my handicap.
Come on,
but
she's She's the queen of romantic comedies.
I refuse.
That you don't
early
want to see.
2000s, late 90s and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to give Hugh Grant my 2 weeks notice. A comedy about love at a first glance, 2 weeks notice. Oh, like this guy's in a coma while you're out. Starring Sandra Bullock. You know?
I know my sister.
I'm just saying, I would rather have literally any other female actress be the lead in a thing than Sandra Bullock. That's just me. Liam Neeson. He's a pretty cool guy.
Popcorn it to the guy that did a little research.
Okay, Sanford, why don't you go next? All right, I have nothing to say about this.
I will add that Sandra Bullock plays somebody who gives enemas in this movie.
Charlie Mayo?
It's Mayo.
Judy Tipp? I'm the enema queen.
And that seems to be how Corey feels about Sandra Bullock in movies.
Yeah.
And so
well, that one was at least in the trailer.
Yeah. Yes.
And now I'm gonna pass the mic
to Mike.
All right.
So,
think about that.
Starting off, I had to watch this trailer a couple times to try to realize what was going on in it. It's really unclear, as you know, as you were saying, Matt. They marketed it as a romantic comedy, being a dark comedy though. I did do another Rotten Tomato meter for this one, but I'll get to that in a second. My thing with Liam Neeson and Oliver Platt and Sandra Bullock, it's kind of, all of it just seems like an odd casting choice with everything, especially it being a dark comedy. Sandra Bullock doesn't even appear on screen until more than a half hour in, despite being like the female lead from this trailer. The tomato meter got to, by critics' account, 24%, audience score 36%, and then I have a quote from Paul Clinton at CNN that says, "Not only is the script incomprehensible, the film wasn't edited or directed; it was crammed into a Cuisinart." Is that how you pronounce that?
That's how you say it.
Yeah.
And that's actually that's a very good quote, because when you're a kid, you kind of expect to not necessarily understand an adult movie. So that's 100%. Like, I'm trying to think of like how the movie resolves. I just remember that it does, and I don't remember like why it happened that way, and I remember not understanding it. And it sounds like nobody understood it. I just assumed I didn't understand it because it was like an adult movie and I didn't get it. But no, I guess maybe it's just
adults didn't get it either. So the Rotten Tomatoes review, the little blurb they do about it is, it's a dark comedy of the lowbrow nature filled with fart and gay jokes. Even Liam Neeson and Sandra Bullock cannot save this failure. So it shows, I guess, in the Times too, them just throwing gay jokes a bunch, in a movie, and trying to garner laughs from it.
There's a whole subplot in this movie that's not in the trailer, because Liam Neeson's job, he's undercover. He's like brokering a deal between the mob and a drug syndicate out of South America, I believe.
Yeah, he's trying to set up a sting.
Right. Well, yeah, he's setting up a sting, but he's undercover as the person who's sort of like brokering the deal.
Yeah.
The whole subplot with the guys from the drug syndicate is just it's just gay joke after gay joke after gay joke after gay joke. And that's why Oliver Platt shoots the guy's testicle out, is because the dude is looking at his penis as he's peeing. So yeah, it's a lot of that.
I was gonna say too, just sounding it, from its synopsis that I read, Liam Neeson's character, I guess, in the beginning of the movie, he almost dies in one of his jobs, working undercover or something. So it leaves him shaken, and that's why he's seeing a therapist and all this other stuff. For whatever reason, I just think the casting's weird on that, because Liam Neeson, I guess, knowing him now as the guy from Taken, he doesn't seem like this nervous, neurotic guy.
Right. Well, if you would have put this in perspective, this movie came out. He had a big movie the year before, a little movie called Star Wars Episode 1: The Phantom Menace, So,
What are midichlorians?
Midichlorians are a microscopic life form that resides within all living cells.
so he's fresh off Qui-Gon Jinn, and then he's playing Charlie Mayo.
Charlie Mayo. Wow.
Yeah.
Woo!
Alrighty. We'll see how that pans out on when we need to get back to our timeline. We're going to be throwing a movie into our Mr. Fission. Is that what? God, that sounds weird. Fission.
Yeah.
Fission. Okay. Throw a movie into our Mr. Fission to get back in our timeline. But we still have one more trailer to go. This one is a very weird movie.
Because we've only looked at normal movies so far.
Yes. Yeah. Well, like actual big movie studio movies.
Mm-hmm.
This is based off of some comic book characters by an artist named Michael Allred. Let's just check it out. It's unique, to say the least.
Two hardened government agents, wrongly set up, are murdered and sent to hell.
This is the place the names we're talking about.
Tate Donovan, Bobcat Goldthwait, Paul Rodriguez, Gary Busey, and Robert Goulet as the devil.
Look, pal, it's not like you think, okay?
G-Men from hell.
What the hell are you doing in my tub?
First thing we do, set up a PI business.
I'd like to hire you.
Have you seen these two men? We ain't going back.
You're still alive. Who is?
Our G-Men.
I will personally drag your bones back to hell.
Starting to like this good deed business. You were both puppets for Bavard, weren't you?
Who you calling a puppet?
Back off, Pinocchio.
Starring William Forsythe, Tate Donovan, Bobcat Goldthwait, Paul Rodriguez, Gary Busey, and Robert Goulet as the devil.
Look, pal, it's not like you think, okay?
G-Men from hell.
Bodies falling from heaven.
Actually, we're from hell.
All right, that was Michael Allred's G-Men from Hell. I personally actually, I found this movie after researching Michael Allred. He is a pretty prolific comic book artist. He does the series, he's known for the series Madman, and his art has been seen in Marvel, DC. I guess what I really want to do is see what you guys think first, because I know I have my own little insight into this movie. So, Matt, what do you think about? What do you think about it?
So, this trailer is strange because, as everyone knows, because I keep saying it every sentence, the hype train has gone back in time to the year 2000. This movie looks like it's from. This movie looks like it's from the year 1989. I didn't really know what to make of it. One positive thing I will say about this trailer is it doesn't just tell you the whole plot like the first trailer we looked at, or tell you a whole plot that's not actually the plot of the movie like the second trailer we watched. It tells you, like, here's your main characters. It introduces all that stuff. But it's like, oh, there's going to be wacky shenanigans, and maybe you'll actually want to watch the movie to see all those wacky shenanigans. We're not just going to give you all the wacky shenanigans. There's a lot of interesting people in this movie. Obviously, it showed the same clip of Bobcat Goldthwait cracking a safe or something twice in the trailer. Gary Busey's in the movie. Robert Goulet plays the devil. They want us to know that. So this could be an offbeat hit, but what they're really showing and sort of the production value doesn't actually lead me to believe that this is an offbeat hit. But yeah, definitely sort of out there. And that's really what I have to say about that. Corey, you might have something to add.
I do. And it's not quick, but like Fernandez said, the creator of this movie is also the creator of the Madman comic series, and I would have much rather Fernandez found a trailer for a lost Madman movie that we never knew existed, as opposed to whatever this is, because this is chaos and goofy and insanity.
Why don't you
Robert
just
Goulet is
invent
there.
something that doesn't exist?
Yeah, I'm like, you wanted me to find a trailer for something that doesn't exist.
Yeah, that
all I
would
wanted
cool.
to say. That was your point for that? Thanks. I'll try harder next time.
Because Madman is great, but this, I don't know.
We're using January 2000, Google search algorithm. Doesn't work like that.
Oh, I used AskJeeves.com.
Yeah, this trailer. Look at that.
Not Alta Vista.
This trailer is nutty, and I would definitely see this movie, like, just for the fact of being like, well, that was a crazy thing that I guess I saw. But that's really all I have to add. Fernandez is the master with all the backstory and the intel and the notes.
Yeah, there's a lot here, and a lot of it will actually tie into other episodes of the Hype Train, which is what's really weird to me. But let's go into the movie itself. I own this on DVD. It was my rarest disc replay find ever because I've heard of it mainly just because of being a Michael Allred fan and a Madman fan. These characters are based off of the comic book graphic music done by where they were first released by Michael Allred. I later, I read this story actually from a Madman comic that came out later that was kind of a compendium thing. This movie is trying to almost shot for shot remake the comic into a movie minus Madman, which is really what's weird. So actually, Corey, you're me trying to find a Madman film. This is the closest I could get, because if you've read this comic, you'll see every single character is modeled to look like the character in the comic. Some of the lines and dialogue from this movie are straight ripped from the comic. It tries to do like if you ever wanted to see a movie attempt to do the truest form of its comic version, this is it. And because of that, it turned out really weird and goofy. Because the storyline of this, you got William Forsythe as Dean Krept and Tate Donovan as Mike Mattress, who, looking into them, they're just guys that have been in so many things now that they're recognizable. They are FBI agents who there's a hit put on them at the beginning of the movie, and they die and go to hell. Now, they have to escape hell because they think, they've done nothing wrong. They've been FBI agents. They've done nothing but good. So they escape hell because Robert Goulet, for whatever reason, has these crystals out that he keeps in a cabinet. They come back to Earth, and they try to do good deeds to try to get on, go to heaven.
The Eddie McDowd effect, if you will.
Oh my God, Matt, we will get back to that. I will revisit.
Oh, it's right here in the notes, subsection 3.
Well, let's just cover it now then. The director Christopher Coppola directed multiple episodes of 100 Deeds for Eddie McDowd. Harkening back to the first episode of Hashtag Hypetrain, where we did the 100 Deeds for Corky. So
that's the whole reason the podcast exists.
Yes, right there. So, and then in this movie, you get to see there is a mad scientist. Bobcat Goldthwait's character, actually, mad scientist, tries to take his brain and put it into a robot. That's where this whole movie gets really crazy. But that's how it's related to Madman, is that's the scientist in the comic books who also creates Madman. So back to, I guess, the casting, though. So Bobcat Goldthwait, as we said. We also have Zach Galligan as one of the other detectives in this film, not showed in the trailer, but he is the kid from Gremlins. Vanessa Angel, if anyone's seen the movie Kingpin, it's a very funny movie. Yep. She plays one of the, Gloria Lake in the movie. You got Paul Rodriguez, who plays a demon zombie. That was the weird-looking polka dot guy in the trailer. Who was it's weird because I guess back in the year this year 2000, he was more prevalent of like a comedian, but not so much anymore. Carrie Werher plays their secretary in the movie, if I'm pronouncing that right. But she was in the Command and Conquer Red Alert 2 games. If anyone has seen those, she played the character Tanya from back in the day.
Hey, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm a field op. I'm not a strategist. And And I hate to admit it, but right now I wish General Carver was still alive.
Lastly, the thing about Robert Goulet in this movie, it is his last on-screen role. At least that was one of the trivia things on the IMDb page. He still has found a lot of work, though. If anyone's seen the Disney cartoon Recess, whenever the Mikey character sings in his deep voice, that's actually Robert Goulet.
I'd like to sing a song I've always known, but never really understood until now.
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen.
Almost in a lot of other cartoons where, it's funny to have a character with like kind of a high squeaky voice doing a deep, lounge jazz singer voice. It's usually Robert Goulet doing that for them. So, lastly, also tying into the other hashtag episodes here, because he always has to make an appearance. Michael Allred, known for his super pop art style, which is the only reason I even picked this trailer, because I didn't know it was from 2000. Like you said, Matt, I thought this had to have been like 1994 or something. But because it was 2000, I just was excited because Michael Allred's a great artist. He did the Blunt Man and Chronic comic art in the film Chasing Amy by Kevin Smith, who gets featured on Hashtag Hypetrain all the time, and also did the cover for Mallrats, another Kevin Smith film. Real quick about Michael Allred, I just want to promote his comic Red Rocket 7 because it's one of the best things I've ever read. It is a love letter to all rock and roll. Real quick synopsis. I'll probably even just cut all of this out because whatever. But
no, keep it.
Okay. An alien who escapes from a planet with a robot, with the help of this like robot that all were enslaved by, crash lands into Earth, and then the robot has a protocol to make clones of this guy while he's passed out because he's knocked out from the crash, and he makes 6 clones of them, so they're all numbered 2 to 7, and each one takes a different trait of his abilities. So you have one that's super strong and good at combat. You have one that's good at math, and one that's good at science, and the 7th one is so good at music. And the time period they land in is the 1950s. So you see Red Rocket 7, or the character 7, go through the time period of music where he meets Elvis and inspires him, meets the Beatles, inspires them, meets David Bowie, and the art is so good in it. You'll see if you check this out that he even instead of the normal comic book size, he released them in the size of like you would get a 45 record, which was really cool. This was a huge vision to him because he also wanted to released a movie that's loosely tied and an album because Michael Allred plays guitar. So I've had to look into this because it's all the same characters. But the album is all this really crunchy 90s rock stuff that was really actually hard to listen to be honest, because it was kind of tough. It's pretty low budget. The film he made is literally no budget. He and some friends went out on a weekend and shot this thing, and it's actually on the DVD for G-Men from Hell. And it's I've yet to get through the whole thing because it's so boring and badly done, but it literally is no budget. But it's the story of the original alien that I'm talking about that crash landed. It's called Astro-esque. But yeah, I'm going to put up a bunch of Red Rocket 7 images just because it's one of the coolest things ever. Other works by Michael Allred include the show iZombie, which was adapted from his comic book. But yeah.
These notes are on point.
Big fan of Michael Allred here. The cup, what are we calling it?
The Flashback Cup.
Flashback Cup.
Yes,
Can you do the Flashback Cup thing, please?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. We've reached that stage in our Flashback episode where we're going to name a Flashback Cup winner. Yeah. And so my vote. Wow. My vote for Flashback Cup winner is going to be G-Men from Hell, because the other 2 trailers are terrible and don't represent their movie at all. So, Sanford, who's your vote for?
Okay, so before we get to that, I do want to say one thing. When I picked a film with because we didn't do the tomato meter for G-Men from Hell.
Oh, they don't have one.
Oh, no, he does.
I tried.
So it does. Here's the thing about that.
Wait, it does?
When I picked the film,
they had no meter on it.
I'm here right now. It only has an audience score.
Okay.
But so when I picked a film that has a critic score of 24% on Rotten Tomatoes, I did not think my movie was going to be the highest rated movie. G-Men from Hell has no critic score and an audience score of 20%. It just goes to show that as we've gone back in time, it's harder to pick the gems than people realize. We're dealing with a kind of low bar. I am also going with, that's all to say, I am also going with G-Men from Hell because it's at least interesting in its strangeness.
Oddity.
Whereas the other two movies are not at all interesting.
Gonna get back in time. All right, Mike, who's your vote for?
Whatever it takes. It's pretty great. No, I'll do G-Men from Hell.
All right, everybody. We do need to get back to our actual timeline.
Yeah.
So we need to throw one of these movies in the Mr. Fission. Which movie are we going to throw in?
This is the tough decision.
Can it just be? Can it just be both? Whatever it takes and Gun Shy, just to extra boost us back
they
to
won't.
our
They
reality.
won't fit, Corey. They won't fit. I've been
doesn't fit that
putting stuff in the Mr. Fission for a while, and
all right, then Fernandez, make a vote.
All right. Let's weigh out the decisions here. Let's see. Whatever it takes has Aaron Paul. Gun Shy has Qui-Gon Jinn. So, you know what? I'm going to throw whatever it takes in there.
Yeah,
that's my vote because of reasons.
Hopefully, this doesn't change your opinion anyway. I wanted to mention, but I neglected to mention before that, despite not being in the trailer, Whatever It Takes also features comedian Julia Sweeney, who plays Pat, as in It's Pat.
Pat, is that a banana in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
No, it's a banana.
Wait, she plays Pat in the movie?
No. I'm just saying that's
I know who she
is for people.
Okay.
For people who don't know, no, she plays the main character's mother.
Oh, okay.
Fernandez is a big Julia.
That doesn't influence my decision at all. But we have a lot of
I mean,
old school SNL references right now too.
Some people say, "What's that?"
It's Pat.
I am going to let Corey decide here because I'm going to throw Gun Shy in the Mr. Fission. That's my vote, just because it scarred me when I was younger. So, Corey, the deciding vote is yours.
I could never throw both Qui-Gon Jinn and Oliver Platt in the Mr. Fission, so whatever it takes is my vote.
Whatever it takes is going in the Mr. Fission, and we're gonna hit 88 miles per hour and head back home.
Sounds good, Matt. Corey, why don't you take us home?
All right, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing if you did. Grab your Tamagotchis and your Jinko jeans and whatever the hell else you want to grab from this MySpace era, because we're going to be getting back to our own timeline and keeping the trail blazing right on to a new episode. But before we do that, don't forget to always support your local post office. Don't forget to wash your hands, people. Take care of yourselves, even though it seems like the 98 Degrees reunion tour is dying down. That doesn't mean it couldn't just start back up because of popularity and lack of intelligence. So, for the Hashtag Hype Train, I'm Corey.
I'm Mike.
I'm Matt.
And we will catch you guys on the next ride in the actual timeline. Choo-choo!